Oh, okay. All right. So what I'll now do is invite Prof. Adipala Kwamu, the Executive Secretary of RU Forum, to give us opening remarks. Prof. Adipala.
This one. No. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Africa. Good evening, Mother Continent. Good evening, all those who have come to visit us in our continent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinguished honor and pleasure to address you. But before I address you, allow me to make an announcement. The focus of this week is to participate in the events of the 18th Forum Annual General Meeting. But as part of this event, we are also hosting a meeting for Forum for Women Vice Chancellors in Africa. That meeting will commence tomorrow afternoon in a Holiday Inn. Those of you who can, you are invited to participate. Thank you, African Women Vice Chancellors, for accepting to host the event in this, as part of this annual general meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the MasterCard Foundation, my daughter, Pauline Angler from the MasterCard Foundation. I know that the other Pauline is also here. She should not feel jealous, but that's also her sister. Students and young men who are our hosts for tonight, and they are our guests of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm filled with greatest happiness and honor that this event, organized by the TAGDEF students, is happening. This event is a continuation of the great virtual event that they hosted on 10th of November 2022 that had attracted participation of an online audience of over 600 people and attracted people from across 28 countries globally. Congratulations, young women and men, for demonstrating that education is a powerful enabler that walks you above the ladder in such a short time. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go far, I would like to introduce to you 5 young women and men that have helped to shape the course of my journey as a researcher then, and to whom I owe so much in the conceptualization of Reform and its purpose. I don't know where she is. Madam Nora Ebukalin from Uganda. A farmer whom I met, half dressed, basically not naked, in a rural village in Uganda, just emerging out of conflict with 10 other women. Today, she leads a cooperative of over 3,000 women championing community development. This is the lady that set my thinking of the place of a university. This is the lady, after 40 years, I've gone back to learn from about transforming rural livelihood. Thank you very much, Nora, for what you have done. I met a young girl, a very active young girl, too shift and passionate about agricultural extension services, questioning us as researchers why we're not focused on smallholder farmers. For her, she grew large commercial. Professor K. Morel Leresche, thank you for to focus to rural communities and for development. Thank you for focus, challenging the universities that we must do all we can to help and student, the African youth. Thank you for pushing us that we should not leave anybody behind, that we must bring on board quickly training, the focus on training young women and youth in Africa. I thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I was also very fortunate to meet 3 very, very young men, very dynamic young men then, and they are still dynamic. George Kanyamafiri, Professor Vincent Saka, and Kwapata, who is not able to be with us. This trio from Malawi taught me what it means to have firm dedication in young people and in institutional development, and strengthening especially the principle of getting timely student completion, getting students as the central players in research and engagement with farming community. Professor Nyamafiri, you remind us we must not forget about women. They are the core, they are the foundation of development. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I pay tribute to these 5 working men and that the 2 ladies, because they are reflective of our discussion today. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 10th of November 2022, in my remarks to the African youth, I made a call to them that the time for the young people to be the leaders of today, not the leaders of tomorrow. It's time for the young people to be the leaders of today and not of tomorrow. I mean serious business. We must be the transform agents. And 2 things. we must never forget where we come from. We must always give back to society, because it's society which makes us whom we are. So as we walk into this journey, that has to be the focus, the value of education. It's about society values. It's about responsibility to the society. It's about responsibility to the village. It's also about responsibility to those who have not had the opportunity to make it in life, but have all the potential if given the opportunity to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, today is about building a movement of change makers in Africa. It is about, in a way, Reform's philosophy into identifying, placing, training, and transitioning young women and men to be the leaders of change at various levels. Today, we shall have the opportunity to listen and see them. You have seen some of the exhibition. You have seen what is possible if we empower these young people who will make a difference to our continent. These young men and women are doing everything and with passion. Please, 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 my continent, we must believe in these young people, that they will help be able to make the difference to our continent. We must invest in them. And it is us Africans to get things working on the right direction in the continent. Nobody will do this for us. There's a Mozambique saying that your neighbor will not fill your granary. You must do this for yourself. We must do this for ourselves. The change we want, we are the one to deliver that change. Nobody is going to deliver it for Africa. It is you, me, and especially you, the young women and men in this room and outside in this room. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm optimistic in the future of our continent. I'm optimistic in our vision of the Africa we want, and that we will deliver by 2063. Especially when I see these young women and men, and that perhaps some in the public 2 to 3 years to come will be the ones driving that change. We therefore need to do much more to invest in young people, open our hearts and doors to allow them to take the leadership and to drive to the development agenda in our continent. Ladies and gentlemen, as I end this address, I'm reminded of the wordings of Julius Nyerere, the former president of the Republic of Tanzania. I quote, "Development to us cannot be just building a road. Development to us is not just building a road. So that we can point that that is the road we built, and that there's a road there. It has to be part of us. Has to be part of the change process. It has to result in changing livelihood of the people and giving people higher dreams. This is the view and the vision of Julius Nyerere. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to do for our continent. And together, if we work hard, we will be able to deliver for the continent. It is there my humble thanks to you all, an appreciation for your commitment and the trust that you have rendered to the forum with all your support over these years. The next decade will remain defining, and as a forum, we are committed to place at least 10,000 women and men of this caliber you are going to be listening today into the world of work as change agents. We are committed to deliver 10,000 young women and men over the next 10 years for the continent as the change makers for our continent. I welcome you, Father, especially MasterCard and others, to work with Reforum. We have the mechanism to deliver. And we have a strong mechanism and conviction to getting things done. And we are accountable, not only to our institution, but to our continent. With these many words, I will retire from Reforum with a young spirit, because there's a strong army of young women and men to carry forward the legacy of the work with greater innovativeness and commitment to make us reach the Africa we want by 2063. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Really summarize and say that the vein of a true son, an eminent son of Africa, a true global citizen, a visionary and transformational leader. I would like to request, as Prof. Adipala bows out of this big organization that he helped to found, and I'm sure he's got a lot that he's going to do as he retires, that we please stand up and really acknowledge a great man, a visionary leader of not just Reforum, but this continent. Can I request that we please put our hands together and show appreciation to Prof. Adipala? We thank you very much, Prof. Adipala. You may be seated, colleagues. We have a couple of documentaries before I call on Miss Pauline Ganglia to give us the keynote address. We'd just like to do one of the CAP documentaries. If you could please go ahead and show us that.
And what we have seen is that the students have the passion to be entrepreneurs. The study program has impacted ministers trained on different aspects of the community. We've also been trained on e-learning, and we contributed policies when the university had to start to transition to e-learning.
I think this has been very helpful during the pandemic when we had to go online, teaching and also engagement with the students.
We also supported in upgrading or renovating the halls of residence where our students are staying. So with the revenue that the university has received, they've been able to renovate the hostels.
The TAGDEF program is very important to us as a university. It has been able to sponsor more than 110 students on full scholarship. These students also gain other skills in terms of entrepreneurship and community engagement.
We have commissioned several studies within the university, just looking at how do we enhance experiential learning. We have engaged colleagues, the staff who teach different aspects in agriculture.
Not only should we be able to impart theoretical knowledge, but also inculcate in our students the skills to turn what they are learning theoretically into ventures that can help them establish income earning activities and therefore move on to be able to be employers, to create employment.
When I see the change taking place at the institution and that I'm to contribute a bit in a small way, happy. No transformation taking place in the students. You see the traction with the first stipend. Immediately after the first stipend, the next time you meet the students, they're different. You know, they've been able to buy new clothes, been able to buy new shoes. They're a little more confident, you know. I think just that realization they have a scholarship that is, you know, their entire life in college, just gives them such confidence and just transforms them.
TAGDEV endeavored to give their students entrepreneurial skills. These are students that then differently, not to be employed, but to create that employment, create that job. So as they leave the college, you would say they already hit the labor market running.
Let us be able to train them in such a way that they are able to see the opportunities through this training that they are taking within the university. We have been able to build their capacity in terms of different types of training for them to be able to run their enterprises better. We've been able to provide mentorship to them and also link them to the market so that they can employ themselves and they employ others. And what we have seen is that the students have the passion to be entrepreneurs.
Was one of the that was from Egerton University, and we'll keep on showing you some of the inventories. Just an announcement that I've been asked to give. Your tools, you have gadgets that can allow you to read different languages in terms of translation. Channel 1 will give you English translation. Channel 3 will give you Arabic translation. Channel 5 will give you French translation. And channel 7 will give you Portuguese translation. And I would like to request that at the end, please leave those receivers on the table. It's now a pleasure Miss Pauline Gangler to come and deliver a keynote address. Miss Pauline.
Thank you. Thank you. Professor Adipala Ekwamu, the Executive Secretary of RUFORUM. Professor Patrick Okori, the incoming Executive Secretary of RUFORUM, the entire RUFORUM Secretariat, the TAGDEV Steering Committee led by Professor Mbati, leadership of universities that are within the RUFORUM network in this room, representatives of partners of TAGDEV, the partnership that we have with RUFORUM, and Colleagues Foundation. I'm here with two colleagues, Georgia Parker, who's our program lead for agriculture, and I'm also accompanied by Rachel Nandelenga, who is our communications lead. Our TAGDEV students and entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I bring you warm greetings from the MasterCard Foundation. It's indeed a great honor for us at the foundation to witness the 18th RUFORUM Annual General Meeting here in Harare. We are committed to contributing to bringing and building this movement of change makers in Africa through our work with the young people who are in this room and others who come through the doors of your institutions. these young people, as you heard from Professor Adipala, are the current leaders. They are at the center of our work. All of us in this room, our work centers around these young people. We sincerely thank RUFORUM and its network for extending an invitation to us at the foundation to join you at this AGM. I'd like to say a few words about who we are as a foundation. So we were established in 2006, so we are 16 years old, through the generosity of MasterCard Inc., the private company, when it became a publicly listed company. However, MasterCard Foundation is an independent foundation with its own board and management. So we were established with a broad mandate to pursue two charitable objectives. So we are a charitable organization. And the first objective is to expand access to quality education for young people. And the second objective is to deepen financial inclusion and expand access to financial services, especially for young people. So the foundation has a keen and long-standing interest in education. In 2018, the foundation decided to unify its work around what we saw as the single biggest challenge and opportunity facing young people here in Africa, and that is youth unemployment. We launched a decade-long strategy called Young Africa Works, under which we have set out to enable 30 million young people across the continent to access dignified and fulfilling work. Young women make up 70% of this target. So 21 million of those will be young women. The MasterCard Foundation believes that all young people, no matter their starting point in life, should have an equal chance to obtain quality education and to pursue their aspirations. We work with visionary organizations like yours to enable these young people in Africa, in indigenous communities in Canada, to access dignified and fulfilling work. Because we want a world where young people are included and are thriving, and that their leadership and contributions actually matter. A future where young people are driving transformative change and achieving their full potential. And so we bring together the private sector, donors, young people, and civil society together to create effective systems and infrastructures, supportive policies and environments where young people can find work and entrepreneurs can nurture enterprises that succeed and grow. We've just seen what our young people are already doing. There's much more to come, only if we give them more opportunities to exercise their talent. So why are we investing in young people? So this strategy that we call Young Africa Works outlines how over the next decade, we will focus on finding solutions to youth employment challenge and in Africa. In 7 offices in Africa, and our headquarters is in Kigali, Rwanda. The other countries in Africa where we have physical presence is Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Senegal, Ghana, and Nigeria. Some of our programs go beyond those 7 countries that I listed. We also have an office in Toronto. So the young people come through our programs do not have to come from those 7 countries. They just have to be from any African country. And so when we look at the youth employment challenge, Africa has the youngest and fast growing population in the world. And so by 2030, 375 million young people will enter the job market here in Africa. And that number is expected to grow to more than 1 billion people within the next few decades. And so these young people in Africa represent the workforce of tomorrow and can serve as a force for Africa's transformation. But they need the skills and knowledge to participate in and to build the economies of the future. The Scholars Program is an integral part of the Young Africa Works strategy. And I will say a few words about the Scholars Program that I had. So the Scholars Program, and this is where TAGDEV is housed, was launched in 2012. It's the signature program of the foundation, the flagship program of the foundation. This year, we celebrated 10 years of the Scholars Program in Kigali in September. And we had a lot of young people come forward with the stories of impact of how the Scholars Program has made a difference, not just in their lives, but in the lives of family members, in their communities, in their countries, and largely in society. And so this Scholars Program has become one of the largest education and leadership development programs of its kind, enabling young people primarily from Africa to pursue their aspirations, improve their families' lives, and enrich their communities through service. This program goes beyond to providing holistic wraparound support to students to enable their success and to support them to go beyond the academic journey in their transitions to work. And so we give them entrepreneurship, development, and community give back projects. And so we ensure that young people are at the start of program design and decision making. What became as an initiative with 9 partners we started, supporting just 15,000 young people, has now grown into a vibrant network of more than 41 partner institutions, mostly African organizations, that have worked together to impact more than 45,000 young people, and nearly half of them have already graduated. A decade later, the vision at the heart of the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program is to develop the next generation of global and African leaders remains even more relevant today. The Scholars Program is growing and responding to a dynamic global environment. And by 2030, we aim to provide high quality education to at least 100,000 young people and to accompany higher education institutions like your institutions on their journey to create a new era of equitable prosperity and growth. I'd like to say a few words about our work in agriculture. It's what cements our partnership with all of you in this room through Forum. Following the COVID-19 crisis, the foundation, cognizant of the changing landscape, re-examined its assumptions and approaches to interventions. So reimagining our work called for in-depth understanding of the changed country contexts to proactively anticipate key levers for contribution to transformation and scale. And so in reimagining our work enabled us to understand the drivers of change and the barriers of change for young people. So based on these lessons gathered post-COVID, we have articulated our beliefs as a foundation on how we can best drive agri-food systems transformation. And so again, our target population is, these young people supporting millions of sustainable, equitable, and resilient livelihoods for young Africans. There are significant opportunities, both preparation and processing, varied vulnerability levels for young women and men, which impact program design. To achieve the greatest impact, the foundation focuses on young women, but we'll need to involve the wider community in programming because these young men and women do not work in isolation. And so when we look at the general agriculture strategy framework, the food system sits at the heart of the economy, livelihoods, health, and social stability across Africa. The agricultural sector provides the largest source of income and employment in sub-Saharan Africa. However, production is lagging, and the external shocks such as climate change and geopolitics increasingly threaten crop yields and food security. And 60% of our population is employed in agriculture, and women make up 60% of the agri-food value chain, for example, mostly in production and processing. But often these young women earn much less than men, and they are less likely to own an agri-food enterprise and may not even receive equitable access to resources, opportunities, and income. And then when we look at the impact of agri-food systems on the African economy and the proven track record of the foundation in driving programs in the agri-food system, these are key to realizing the goals of our Young Africa Works strategy. And so agriculture holds the greatest potential for catalyzing economic growth and creating employment for young people. Transforming agriculture and the food systems to be more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable, therefore creates a pathway to accelerate work opportunities for the young people who are in this room and who are outside of that room. So our strategic and programming focus concentrates on creating a strengthened, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable sector that will enable the creation of dignified and fulfilling work for young people. And so our interventions are mainly focused on the higher nodes of the value chain, so agro-processing, value addition, trade, and marketing that have proven to provide more consistent work opportunities and higher income flows for young people. Partnerships with the private sector actors are prioritized as a means to boost market access and promote value addition processes. So for example, service delivery and increased financial inclusion. I'd like to say a few words about our partnership with RUForum, and Professor Adipala said this, and also Professor Mbati. But over the last 7 years, in partnership with RUForum and the early adopters, Gulu University and Egerton University in Kenya, and other 14 universities that are listed on this board, have been piloting that innovative education model that connects young people to agricultural opportunities. As Professor Mbati said, yes, we call it TAGDEV, but it's about transforming Africa's agricultural universities to meaningfully contribute to Africa's growth and development. And so that's what we've been doing with TAGDEV, and we piloted it at Egerton and Gulu, and the outreach saw them increase the number of partner universities that adopted this model. This partnership has graduated to 236 students, and 73% of them are currently in formal and gainful employment. 26% are entrepreneurs owning businesses that serve them and provide employment opportunities for others. They've also supported 216 startups, enterprises that have created employment for 1,300 people. And so the students also engage in community give back initiatives, different initiatives either around the value chain or creating value and opportunities for rural communities and connecting them to farmers within their communities. But so what have we learned over the last 7 years of working with RUForum through the TAGDEV project? These TAGDEV students that receive comprehensive and innovative education then turn into transformative graduates with great personal dynamism and commitment to service. We are very proud that the 2022 UN Person of the Year was a TAGDEV alumni. The second lesson that we've learned is that investing in catalytic processes through community action research unlocks the transformative power of universities as facilitators of development. And so inadequate involvement of the private sector in the research to delivery limits adoption of science and management solutions that are required for economic growth. And the final lesson that we've learned is that there's higher return on investment and better sustainability when there's strong university leadership commitment and the strategic partnerships cost leveraging their strengths. And so where are we going with RUForum? Leveraging the successes of TAGDEV 101. So over the last 10 months, we've been co-creating, co-designing with RUForum and 12 to 13 other African institutions. We are co-designing a program that will see us expand the TAGDEV program to reach more young people, to create more opportunities for young people to create work opportunities for others, to improve their lives and the lives of their families and their communities. And so as we go through the co-creation process, we are nearing the end of that process of co-designing the program with partners. And today we spent the day with the partners again, discussing the shape of that program. If this program is approved, it will strengthen and engage robust and transformative African higher education institutions to equip young people with skills, knowledge, and values to catalyze sustainable and inclusive development that creates prosperous and resilient communities. So that technical focus will be around agriculture, financial services, education, data science, and STEM. And so we are hoping that that will well align with the Scholars Program idea and goal of transforming higher education through your institutions and supporting agriculture. And again, that program, if approved, will support 70% women, 25% refugees and displaced persons, and 10% youth with disabilities. That group of people face additional barriers when they access education and work opportunities. So we are committed to working with our partners to ensure that those people are not left behind. As I conclude, over the next few years, the Scholars Program will be expanding as a response to the opportunities that I have highlighted. As part of the expansion, we've set a target of engaging an additional 60,000 young people who will become part of the foundation's network driving sustainable change in Africa through the Scholars Program. This includes with our working with our partner institutions like Forum Network to strengthen Africa's agri-food systems in the post-COVID-19 era. In closing, on behalf of the foundation, let me express our gratitude for the partnership with Forum and its network of the current 161 member universities across 40 countries. We have seen that through this collaboration and alignment, we are forging real change through making access to quality university agricultural education a driver that prepares young Africans to contribute to personal, community, and national transformation. We wish you all the best as you hold your AGM this week, and we look forward to more fruitful discussions with you as our partners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Miss Pauline Gangler, the head of the Scholars Program, Eastern and Southern Africa Partner Network from the MasterCard Foundation. Now, Prof. Adipala, the reason I carry this huge laptop, my chair of council always said, but Mbati, people are using tablets, you carry a television set with you. But it's because I have extremely bad eyesight. I've had a double corneal transplant. I think from the what Pauline has just shared with us, it is obvious that here we have a uniquely constructed, transformative, Forum-driven MasterCard Foundation supported program that has redefined the boundaries of excellence and relevance in higher education. Now, while the TAGDEC program has been deliberate and bold in enrolling economically marginalized, yet academically deserving students, and gender sensitive in its selection process, TAGDEV has demonstrated its transformative and impactful nature by producing entrepreneurial, highly skilled, industry-ready graduates with many of the 21st century skills important for a successful graduate. Many of us who are in sessions from Saturday and today and listen to Professor French, some of those skills include critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, problem solving. And I think you heard Prof. Nancy Mungai talking about boldness, that you have these youngsters that are really bold because they have acquired that over this program that has been delivered to them. This program has adopted best practices in curriculum development and delivery, and that would be an envy in many established universities globally. In fact, in the meeting that we had this morning that Pauline was referring to, a question arose about how we implement the same model in the entire university across all the other programs. My view, Pauline, is that MasterCard has truly come up as a catalyst and as a change agent that we truly needed to transform how we deliver programs in our universities. And if I could request once again that we give appreciation to Ms. Gangla and the MasterCard Foundation. We will then have another documentary. I think this is one of the cups again from, I would imagine, Gulu University. I'm from the Republic of Cameroon, and I just recently graduated from Gulu University with a Master's of Science in Agri-Enterprise.
The hardest part growing up was payment of tuition in school. That's the one that very much affected me. When I heard I was awarded the MasterCard Foundation at Forum Scholarship, I was very much excited. When I got here, we had the opportunity to do a training which was organized by the Rice Cup project of Forum, because my interests have been to see how this waste can be transformed into wealth. Being a MasterCard scholar at Gulu University has helped me a great deal in participating in community transforming endeavors. During my period of study at Gulu University, I've been able to interact with refugee camps because of the interventions that we have been able to deliver to them through MasterCard Foundation. Most of this group of people are becoming income and food secure. At my graduation, my mom was very excited. She was very happy to see that this phase of my journey is coming to an end, and more so very successfully.
Thank you very much. And those are just very brief clips. If you had time, I would have shown you lots more. We now get to another session now where we have various panels. And in these panels, we will have students who have been supported by MasterCard and trained at our 2 early adopter universities. The first panel, the theme is going to be finding meaning and fulfillment in community service. Now, some of these MasterCard supported RuForum students that are trained at the 2 early adopter universities, Egerton and Gulu. Some have graduated, some are still in the process of graduating. A number of them are postgrads, but we also have, I think, a few undergrad students. So I'd like to call them up here on the stage. Miss Mosi Simone Asokle, Mr. Nelson Koliswa, Mr. Anthony Emaru, and Olivier Timbazwe. We have another student, Aaron Nanok. He couldn't join us, but once we are done with this panel, we'll play a brief video. just demonstrating Aaron's achievements. So if you could just applaud, give them more confidence, these youngsters here. So we have 20 minutes with this panel, and really what we wanted to demonstrate is, first of all, for you to engage with them, yeah. They will be sharing their experiences at the university while they were being trained, but also post-training, so that we get really a sense first of the type of program and curriculum that was offered, but secondly, the impact that it has had on these graduates or these students individually, but also the impact that it has had on the communities. And so we'll start with Miss Mosi Simone Asokle, and I hope, Simone, I've pronounced your name correctly. Simone, if you could share with us briefly who you are and the impact that this program has had, but particularly in terms of community service. Technical service, okay, you can use this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Peter. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mosi Simone Asokle from Benin Republic. And I did my bachelor degree at National University of Agriculture in Benin, Sakete, and then joined Gulu University in Uganda to do my MSc in Science of Food Security and Community Nutrition. It is a great pleasure for me to be here today to talk about the impact TAGDEV through RUFORUM had in my life. Thank you so much. I am actually the CEO and co-founder of a company called Benin Agrotrans. And what do we do? The objective of this company is to transform the processing technology used in Benin to smoke fish into an environmental friendly processing technology. So after I joined, I was having the idea of this business before joining Gulu University, because from the University of Agriculture in Benin, when you want to complete your BSc, it is a mandatory to do a project like what we did in Gulu University. So I came up with the idea of improving the technology of smoked fish in Benin, since we use wood and it affects the health of the women who process the fish, and also the safety of that fish was not so good. So we improved the technology by using some natural preservatives such as spices to increase the shelf life and also package those fish into biodegradable package. But once I joined Gulu University, I had so many training, entrepreneur, climate change, and I realized that with that technology I was using, there's no impact on social and environmental impact. So I decided to use renewable energy such as solar oven to smoke that fish. So we stopped the use of using wood. Then throughout the training given by TAGDEV on those soft skills, leadership and critical thinking. Actually, today I'm working with the United Nations Agency International Fund for Agricultural Development as consultant. And thank you so much. So thank you. So it is not like I stopped transforming the community. Since I'm still one with UN organizations such as IFAD, I'm still contributing to the rural community transformation. And actually in Benin, the project is still like continuing. We won some few awards from MTN Benin, from the program called Tony Elumelu Foundation. And also recently we got a support from TAGDEF through IPM FAPA, which all those funds help us to, like, first of all, pilot the project to see how it will work. And then we bought a land because we said that we will not like borrow a land. We bought a land for the company. And also we start today by building our company, like we're building to have a safe product, quality fish, and quality product. And we are also expanding, we are also thinking to expand this project throughout Africa, Nigeria, Togo, any other country, and also sensitize the women in the community. So I would like to thank TAGDEF, RUFORUM, Mastercard. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. And yeah, thanks.
Entrepreneur foundation. So let's hear now from Nelson, colleague.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Nelson Papi Koliswa. I am a Liberian by nationality, and I hold a Master of Science degree in Food Security and Community Nutrition. That is from Gulu University of Uganda. This program was being fully supported by the Mastercard Foundation through the Regional University Forum for Capacity Building in Agriculture, for short RUFORUM, under the TAGDEF program. All throughout my course of learning at Gulu University, there are a couple of skills I've acquired, but the most prominent among which is the ability to diagnose problems at the local level and to work alongside the local people to co-develop solutions to overcome their own problems. On the basis of that skill, I was able to lead a team of 5 international students who were all beneficiaries of the Mastercard Foundation to develop a climate smart agriculture project that was being piloted at the MVP refugee settlement in Uganda. The essence of that project was conceived on for three basic reasons. The first is that when refugees arrive in Uganda, there is a progressive policy that allowed them to have access to a piece of land. Unfortunately, there is a high influx of refugees from 2 different countries, which is DRC Congo and that of South Sudan. The size of the land remains the same, yet food production is also a problem. The second thing that also gave rise to that project was because the land in itself was naturally rocky, which could not favor any form of agricultural production. The third aspect of it was that during the heat of the COVID period, the World Food Program announced that there will be a reduction in the food ration for refugee population. So on the basis of those 3 counts, we thought that there is something we can do. And made the fact that Gulu University stands for community transformation, we stood in a gap to develop that climate smart agriculture project, which is style vertical farming in refugee settlement. That idea was ranked globally. That idea was ranked in Africa as the top first, and globally was also ranked in the 3rd place position. So when we went to implement at MVP refugee settlement, we were able to train 100 refugee and host community members to build a tower garden. So along the course of implementation, we were also keenly concerned about the issue of sustainability. So what we cleverly designed was that we signed a partnership agreement with an international NGO called Andri Food International. So we trained their staff on how to build it. And at the end of it, all the staff were able to take over the parallel project from there and move on towards the end of it. So transitioning from the community service towards my home country, there has been also an impact along the journey. When I left home, reflecting on what I did in the refugee camp, there was a question that came to mind: what can you do to benefit your country, Liberia? On the basis of that, I went through a couple of desk research to identify some of the pressing problems that Liberia was faced with. So on that, I realized that energy poverty was one of the core issues that were affecting most of the rural communities. So I founded an organization called Echo Energy, which is surviving, and we have been able to secure an award of $20,000 US to implement that project in Liberia. So as we speak today, that project is actually on. We have been able to recruit 5 young innovators referred to as the franchisee. They have been trained to distribute that solar light to reach all of the off-grid communities and that of unelectrified areas in rural Liberia. So this is how the impact of the program has been felt. But again, I'm also happy to announce to you that I also work in my own capacity as a researcher for Data Pop Alliance. Quite recently, we have been commissioned by the Mastercard Foundation to develop an Impact Plus platform for the foundation. Their core concern has been how they can be able to track their investment across Africa. And as one of the lead and the only African on that team, I was able to perform a top view of the Mastercard strategy portfolio that has been able to lead to the establishment of what we refer to as a sectoral platform. So it's indeed an opportunity to share this with you, and I look forward to our engagement. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Emaro Anthony from Uganda, pursuing my MSc in horticulture currently at Egerton University. I'm also the co-founder of 4Pillar Give Back and currently the managing director of 4Pillar Give Back. I'm a student of cohort 4. Thank you. I'm also a cohort 4 student that is at Egerton University. So through the training, practical skills and technical skills that we trained by Egerton University and the support of TAGDEV, we were tasked to be practical, to be the change makers, to be able to transform, to give, to act today. I decided with a group of 4 other people from different countries, Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, and TZ. We have developed an approach in where we want to give back to the community. So we decided to take part of our stipend and say, how do we give back to the community? We have been helped to where we are. So we need also to be able to help. Basing on my experience and my background of education, we decided and agreed to choose the vegetable value chain, identified the community, agreed and identified the community problems. So 4Pillar Give Back is a community-based organization that is tailored towards improving the agri-entrepreneurship, capacity building, and experiential learning among the vegetable farmers in Njoro, Nakuru, Kenya. Thank you. Currently, we have been able to impact 65 farmers that we indirectly work with right now. We have also trained other high school students in regard to the vegetable value chain from production to the food, to when we eat it at the plate. Our farmers also, we have also trained, capacity built them in a way that they are able, with the knowledge that we train them with, they are able to train other farmers and extend the knowledge that they have gained to other farmers, so that we form a community of well-informed, capable farmers in the agri chain. Thank you. In addition to that, we have also, as 4th pillar, we have also able to bring in more additional 4 competent master students that are still pursuing their masters to join the team based on the demand from the community. They need the service. We have also been able to link the community to research institution, to the market, to other agri-dealers, to make sure that they get the right thing, which is good for them, so that they'll be able to increase their productivity. We thought about the sustainability, and this is, we contract our farmers that 40% is use of the income they get from what they produce is given for expansion to other farms. 60% is for their own use, to develop, to help them improve on their livelihood. We are also forming a network where farmers are able to move away from the mindset of relying, but rather owning the chain and able to produce enormously. With the help and support from MasterCard, I am who I am today, and the community are happy today because of the support. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Olivier Nihimbazwe. I am from Burundi. I am one of the former beneficiaries of the TAGDEV program. I completed my master's from Gulu University, whereby I did food security and community nutrition. Currently, I am the founder and the executive director of Water for Development. This is a community-based organization which is operational in Burundi. And what we are doing is basically to improve access to safe water, hygiene, and sanitation. So the reason why I created this organization was initially to give back to my community. And that was in 2022. But the project that, or rather the give back project that I wanted to implement, I started designing it in 2019 when I joined the program. That was during the orientation program at Egerton University, whereby I remember one of the facilitators challenged us to think about the social challenges that we have in our communities and try to think about possible solutions that we can implement after the program. And so that's how the story started. So we are now working as, I'm working in the organization as a full-time job. And we have basically 3 projects that we are running. And the main one, which is also like the initial give back project, is basically focusing on fighting diarrhea using innovative technologies of treating drinking water in rural areas where I come from, the northwestern part of Burundi. And with this project, we have been able to, currently we are serving over 110,000 people with safe drinking water using our locally based chlorine. And the other projects that we have is also looking at improving hygiene conditions in schools. We are supporting 7 schools, reaching over 9,000 children. And we are focusing in schools which have school feeding programs. And we realized when we went in the community, we realized that students can actually eat without even washing their hands. And so with my background in environmental health and nutrition, I do understand that you cannot address malnutrition without focusing also on wash. And so this is what we are doing. And to be able to implement all these initiatives and have this impact, one needs to have strong leadership skills, but also being able to mobilize resources. Here, I mean funding and yeah. So, and this is where the TAGDEV program, helped me a lot. I was able to acquire leadership skills through different trainings, but also resources and mobilization skills. Here I can talk about trainings to do with project proposal development that we got from RUFORUM. And as I speak, I've been able to raise funding from 6 different organizations. And the two of them, I was able to raise them when I was still at Gulu University. And one of them is from the D Prize, which is worth $16,000. This was our first grant. And we are working so hard to scale up these interventions in the rural areas, which really need our services. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Professor Patrick Kyamanywa, Vice Chancellor, Uganda Martyrs University. You have given us very moving testimonies, and I would like to congratulate RUFORUM and MasterCard for engineering such change leaders. Now, my question is, comparing to the methods of learning and the way and what you were taught at your undergraduate, what did you be that outstanding difference in the delivery now under this program that you think universities should start adopting? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor. We discuss among
Thank you very much. My name is Aldris Malata, Vice Chancellor, Malawi University of Science and Technology. Yes, inspiring testimonies. And I must say that really, for me, impressed that we have a female on the podium. I think we need to give her a round of applause. So for me, I think maybe just a question to all of you, any of you can respond. What lessons would you want to share with those that will have this experience? Because you've gone through it, you know what was challenging, you know what worked very well. What advice would you give to other students who would have a similar opportunity? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Warda Rajab Jagenda, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Kampala University. I must say, actually, I'm at a loss of words. And I'm sitting and thinking here that it's good you have been working with your colleagues among yourselves, but how about the 4 of you and a few others of the like mind coming together, bringing your beautiful resources from the brains together, and maybe you can make a better RUFORUM than what we have right now. Of course, thank you, Professor Adipala, for giving us these beautiful brains. Thank you.
So let's take who'd like to go? Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for these great and wonderful questions. And I would like to address the first question, like, what program do we think the university should continue doing to impact more young people, young colleagues who will join or who are still under the program? I think, first of all, is the entrepreneurship and leadership skills training that we got from TAGDEF or RUFORUM program, because most of these soft skills around entrepreneurship, leadership, communication skills, we get like during bachelor degree. It is not much like given to us. And I think it was a gift from TAGDEF to train us how to think about solving a problem in the community, coming up with a solution that will impact not only our family, but the whole rural community. We grow up and seeing people suffering and challenging with these issues. So I think the university should continue giving, not only training the student or the young people, because one thing is to get the skills, but the other thing is to support them, scale up the ideas and grow the business or any entrepreneurship or any ideas they will decide to do. So I will humbly request the universities to continue like doing the entrepreneurship and leadership skills, and also support, even if it is few grants, to give the student that will finish or will graduate and will decide to do any entrepreneurship business, to support them and then also follow them on that way. Yeah, thanks. I don't know if my colleagues have another things to say.
Yeah, so in addition to what my colleague just mentioned, I think one aspect of it I would like to mention is the issue of being community driven. Now, there is always that wrong philosophy, specifically in a project world, that most people sit and just think like this is what is affecting the community themselves and just design solution and taking it to them, but that does not work that way. So what I would like to, in terms of the difference I've observed, is the fact that the Gulu University model, specifically the TAG, they have been more community driven in the sense that we have had that active engagement with the community to understand what are some of the problems they are facing. Of course, if you don't engage with the community, you don't tend to understand what they are faced with. So the second component of it is the issue of entrepreneurship that she just mentioned. I remember sometimes back, I was speaking to some young people. I told them that what will happen in the next 10, 30 years, you just look and realize that robotic technology has taken over the world. Most of these jobs will be away. But I want to encourage you all to focus more on being entrepreneur minded rather than focusing on what your salary can give you today. But if you can pick and develop into that area, you definitely achieve the results. So one, community driven, active involvement with the community. Two, integration of entrepreneurship at the level of the community so that students can be able to create viable products from some of those challenges that they see at the level of the community. Thank you.
One of the takeoff that I've benefited from TAGDEV, one is you are capacity build to always provide solution. In everything, the solution starts with you. So this has encouraged me. This has encouraged other young people outside there to be able to find solutions to give back to the community, and then to be the ambassadors of change. This is very key with the TAGDEV. And I really want to say thank you very much. It is a blessing.
Yes, I would like to add on what they have just said. Like, what's the outstanding difference? For me, I would just like to mention this as a beneficiary from a French-speaking country. I really struggled to get a scholarship. I wanted really to study in a French-speaking country, I mean, English-speaking country, but it was really hard. And I know if there are some French-speaking colleagues here, they know what I'm talking about. And so one of the uniqueness features of the MasterCard RUFORUM partnership, I mean the TAGDEV program, like the language barrier is not really something that it's not something that hinders somebody from accessing higher education. And this is something that I really would like to see, continuing even in different universities. Because the thing is, although I joined without like the skills of speaking English, I couldn't speak English when I joined in 2019, but today I can speak this audience. So this is the evidence that the language should not, or the origin of the student should not really be the hindrance to accessing higher education. This is very important. And then regarding the issue of the advice I would like to give to students, or those who will come later, we really need to understand that Africa and our countries have many challenges. And I got to understand that where there are challenges, there are also opportunities. So we need to really see the challenges and think about the solutions and see the opportunities within those solutions. And the issue of working together. Yes, we have been exploring ways of collaborating. Nelson knows about it. We are trying to work on something as the alumni of the TAGDEV program. Yeah, thank you very much.
The Department of the work that I do is ensuring that sensitive and making farmers know the reason why they're producing that food they need to utilize before they sell to the world. Because of the malnutrition cases, we ensure that the farmers are trained on producing safe, nutritious, adequate, and culturally accepted food that they should use it at a household level. The work that I do in the field has made me being recognized as the UN Person of the Year for the year 2022, and it revitalizes my commitment to change the lives of others. It is with much honor and privilege to be recognized as the UN Person of the Year, and this award means a lot to me. It will also open opportunities for me to work with many partners to achieve the UN sustainable goals. That is, I'm much categorical on partnership for the sustainable goals. This award will open my avenues, even in the future, to continue working closely with the United Nations agencies, and therefore it is an award that I've received at this age, and therefore it will make me continue working for the betterment of humanity. This is always my goal, and therefore in Turkana, for example, we know that the climate change is the big elephant in the house, and therefore climate smart agriculture technologies, innovations are the future for dryland farming in Turkana. And with this award, it will give me an opportunity to expand the work that I do by engaging more partners and bring everyone on board, do the so-called collective consultations, and so that we can have a food and nutrition secure.
All protocols observed. Good evening. My name is Gabriel Mahindu Kwendo. I'm a Kenyan by nationality. I did a bachelor's degree in agriculture. So on this panel, I bring the experience of an undergrad. I'm actually the CEO of Comrade Dairy and Food Enterprise. This is a company registered in Kenya as a company that deals with the value addition. Basically, our mission is to create value, more value for stakeholders. That is by providing high quality products that are able to bring profit for us, as well as transferring this to farmers. How do we do it? We do extension services. We provide extension services to our farmers so as to increase their productivity. After increasing that productivity, we provide a ready market for their produce. So we aggregate this milk and analyze it, process it to different products. That is yogurt, sour milk, and also fresh milk. The milestone that we have been able to do is that we are registered by Kenya Bureau of Standards and Kenya Dairy Board. These are regulators in the country that are supposed to make sure that whatever we sell to the community is safe. Then how did we then form Comrade Dairy? We got seed funding from a program that is run in Egerton University by one of our professors that is actually under TAGDEV. It's called AGLID. It's headed by Professor Mshenga. I think she's here. So from this, we got training and we also got seed funding that we were able to then start the company with. The impact that we have been able to create is that we are currently engaging about 63 plus farmers that are directly supplying us with milk that we are able to process. We have also created employment opportunities for youth and women, and we have about eight of them at our company. The trajectory that we have had is that we have been able to grow the company from the 400 USD that we got from the grant, from the seed funding from AGLID to currently to a valuation of about 4,000 USD. That is the current value of Comrade that we have. Thank you. So apart from that, we have been able to so how did we grow then this company to that level? Apart from just production and plowing back the profits that we had, we've been able to get some awards. Outstanding of them is IPM FAPA. FAPA is from RUFORUM and the TAGDEV program. We got about 5,000 USD. We also got another funding from GAIN. That is about 5,000 USD. GAIN is basically Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. It's a global organization. We are also working with the Kenya Climate Innovation Center, KCIC, on a few things that we need to improve as a company so that we are more profitable. Yes, so the projections that we have is to expand, to scale up the project so that we can be able to create more impact to the farmers. With this, then we are in talks with the other organizations that have actually promised to facilitate acquisition of machinery for a company that's for a production facility that we have already set up. Yeah. So thank you so much for the support that has gone into this, both from the university and also from my mentors who are actually here. Yeah, thank you so much.
All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Helvi Kaufuetu Novene. I'm a Namibian. I studied at the University of Namibia for my undergraduate, and I got an opportunity where I was awarded a scholarship by Mastercard under the Forum project, where I pursued my master's in agri-enterprises development at Gulu University. I'm the founder of the company called Kaufi Pro Neat, that process shea butter into cosmetic product. And I source the raw material from Uganda. And I'm currently doing that in Namibia. This enterprise came as a result of a student enterprise scheme offered by Gulu University, where students who are doing entrepreneurship are given an opportunity in their final year to come up with, to develop a business plan and implement it within a period of 1 year. So now for us, what we did, a group of 3 students decided to add, to process shea butter into cosmetic product. And currently, I'm processing shea butter into 3 product line, which is mainly shea hair food, shea hair fertilizer, 100% pure shea butter for the hand and body lotion. One would ask, why shea butter? In northern Uganda, the native inhabitant of shea tree, they use shea butter for cooking and also for lotion. However, shea butter has more benefit, and it's increasing, the demand is increasing in international as well as in African continent. Through my study at Gulu University, I participated in entrepreneurship training offered by RUFORUM as well as Agripreneurship Alliance. And this training did not just expose me to the concept of entrepreneurship, it prepared me to be a very transformative entrepreneur in my sphere of influence. I recently got an award for innovation product to market field attachment from Rome, and also $1,000 from Agripreneurship Alliance to scale up my business. Currently, in Namibia, I employed two people who are helping me to process my shea butter, and I also have sales agents who are located in 5 different towns within the country. I thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miss Juliet Ochama. I'm a Ugandan. I hold a Master's of Science in Agri-Enterprises Development from Gulu University, and I'm the founder of the Nectar Point Enterprises. At Nectar Point, we process high-quality fresh juice, wine, as well as coffee. During my studies at Gulu University, I benefited from several trainings. The agri-entrepreneurship class taught me a lot. Several other trainings from RUFORUM, which were online, and also the trainings from Agripreneurship Alliance. On top of that, I received about 2 seedings from the Gulu University Student Enterprise Scheme. Like my colleague Elvis said, that as students pursuing that course, we were supposed to form groups, of which we did, and start up a business. I also got a seeding worth $5,000 from IPM FAPA. Now, these trainings and the seedings changed me a lot. changed the way I looked at life. Before, I used to think of going out to look for a job, but this modeled me into being a job creator. As I talk now, my business has a capital base of about 35,000 US dollars. I employ 8 people, of which some of them are single mothers that had given up in life, and so it was meaningless. But now that they're working at Nectar Point, they can provide for themselves and also pay their children at school. With plans of scaling up, Nectar Point is constructing a winery. And with this, we intend to employ over 100 people, which will transform the lives of many in Uganda, Gulu in particular, and also provide a livelihood to smallholder farmers who grow fruits that we use for processing this fresh juice and wine. And this will also be a great impact to the community. I am then so grateful to TAGDEF, to RUFORUM, and Gulu University for making me who I am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is John Mogonya. I am the Program Manager, Uganda at Agripreneurship Alliance. I was among the first cohort of TAGDEV in 2017. In 2019, I earned a Master of Science in Agri-Enterprises Development from Gulu University. The TAGDEV then, after my master's, placed me at ICRISAT, International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics in Nairobi, as a research intern. I went ahead to work with ICRISAT for over 2 years, contributing to research that is relevant for policy and practice. And to date, I have contributed to 6 publications in referred journals and 2 policy briefs. In my current role at Agripreneurship Alliance, I work with university partners in 5 African countries, Uganda, Kenya, Somaliland, DRC, and Namibia, to give training, practical training, to students in universities, those who are doing business courses, to enable them identify opportunities from within the communities where they live, work on solutions, go ahead to launch those business solutions, and grow. Colleagues that have been, I was very happy to hear the name Agripreneurship Alliance coming up. They have benefited, and I believe the Alliance has also put a contribution, a brick to where they have reached. I also undertook the same training. So as I submission, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank RUFORUM, CAD Foundation for the TAGDEV. I have been enhanced in terms of research skills, writing and communication skills, leadership and management skills. And now these skills have enabled me to transition into roles where I am able to support, to contribute to the development agenda of our motherland, Africa. I thank you.
think always I'm very loud. Okay. Anyway, my background in therefore, as we talk to farmers, so that even the one who doesn't want to listen to you will always listen to you. Now, yes, to my colleagues, that is MSF at Reforum alumni and CEOs and managers of various organizations. What is the message to some of your colleagues who are still struggling to be at where you are tonight? Thank you so much.
Hello, good evening. The mic is here.
Thank you so much. As a rector of Islamic University, my name's Ismail Simbwa Jage, and Rector Islamic University in Uganda. I'm thinking, I'd been working on a paper saying what kind of graduate do we want for the 21st century? And I think coming here and listening to you really solidifies my belief that we must think even from kindergarten all the way to university, what kind of product do we want from our schools? And I think the 21st century calls for this kind of product, this kind of human being who is thinking critically, who is also thinking about the community. And so this is very encouraging to us, but also challenging us as leaders of universities. Why don't we scale these to our bachelor's programs so that everybody understands that they have a lot of, they can do a lot by thinking critically, but also think about solving problems in the community, also having a research agenda that is connected to the problems in our community. So this is very, very enriching. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Rhoda Nekesa. I am a Kenyan. I'm pursuing Masters in Food Security and Community Nutrition at Gulu University, Uganda. I have two questions to the delegates. Personally, I believe in learning, in getting lessons from the untold stories. And majorly, the untold stories are failed projects. Those things that you do and they fail and you don't want anyone to know. I believe that there are many lessons that we can learn from the failed stories that are not being presented at the table. And if we could just count here, you will find out that many of us have tried things that have failed. Personally, I've tried 5 businesses that have failed. Yes. So what are those things, if 2 or 3 or the number that you have tried to do and they have failed and you would want us to learn from them? What are those things that you try to do and you would like some of us who are on this side to learn from them so that we get to correct, do something better? And if also Reforum could create a side page to publish such stories for us to learn from them, because I know there are very many lessons that we can learn from them. Yes. Let me just copy from what I had written down. In conjunction with what Aaron has asked you, I would like to know, what would you accord your success to right now? After the training that you received from Reforum, which most of us also received, would you say that it has taken you time to reach where you are? Did it take patience, or was it something that after the training today, tomorrow you established, so that we can also get to know some of us who are not seated up there, if we are not doing something right, so that in the next AGM, get to sit there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Kaunda, Professor, Vice Chancellor for Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources in Malawi. Just to add to what she has just mentioned, I thought if you could also mention a few things that Vice Chancellors who are sitting here need to do to improve in this university so that we have a scale up of who you are, many more prototypes. What do you think could be a message to the Vice Chancellors? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, panelists, for sharing your experiences. My name is Amerian Abkonde from Kumba University, Uganda. Mine specifically goes to Helvi. Helvi, thank you for sharing what you're doing. We really appreciate. One thing I know about the shea tree is that it is on high demand in Gulu. And I'm so surprised that you get it all the way from Gulu to your country. However, after whatever you shared, I really hope that I'll hear you say that you've planted these trees in your country. But I'm so disappointed that you didn't mention that. And because of the good values that the shea tree is doing to the people all over the world, it is getting extinct. My question now is that if it is extinct, it gets extinct, what will your business be up to? I would really encourage you to plant more of these trees such that you really carry on your business. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I would like to join others. By the way, my name is Professor Boniface Namanga, Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Zambia. So I'd like to add my voice in congratulating and commending the panelists, both those that are there now, previous panelists. I would like to recognize this particular program and commend RUFORUM, MasterCard, and I think there's another organization that is involved, for coming up with such a program. I see this curriculum generating great innovators, great entrepreneurs, great leaders. And also something very unique that I see, these are all young people who should get excited with life, and they are great entrepreneurs and who should maybe choose to be selfish. But all of them, uniquely, they look back, they know how they got to where they are, and they look back to society. And they want to do something for their society. So to me, this is a curriculum that is producing a graduate that we are looking for. A graduate who, in my opinion, is capable of addressing African problems and challenges. A graduate, if we can scale this up, I can foresee poverty and other challenges that we have today clearly being addressed and reducing. So I think this is the kind of curriculum that we need to scale up to all our institutions. This is the challenge that I am getting, and I believe that most other vice chancellors that are seated in here must be thinking like this is the kind of curriculum that we need. I think we need to be able to address African problems and challenges using our own solutions. And I think this is the way to go. So congratulations to RUFORUM one more time for actually coming up with this. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Maybe I'll start with one. What message are we to tell our colleagues who are there, who are upcoming? My message will be simple. Start something. You have to start something to get something. You either disrupt or you perish. Yeah. For you to get that recognition or another extra funding, you have to start something that people can start believing that you can be able to bring change. Maybe what I've tried and failed, I've also, maybe just to share this, that I've tried to set up other companies, but they have also failed. So from the failure, then you get to learn what you did wrong. Yeah. So you have just to do it so that without the fear of failing. Yeah. What do you accord your success to? I accord my success to one, mentorship that I've had from my able mentors at the university, Egerton University. The training as well, it was practical enough to make me be able to reach out to where I am today. Yes, I think that's it. And another one about what do we tell the vice chancellors? What should the vice chancellors consider? One, I think it's an uphill task to advise a professor, but let me try. Number one, consider entrenching entrepreneurship in the curriculum, which they do, but then let us be able to follow up these people. That apart from just the curriculum itself, let us be able to encourage these young people. They should come up with enterprises, and we should be able to support these enterprises. That is in terms of mentorship, number one, and in terms of funding. We provide funding for them, and we also provide opportunities for them to sell their products within the universities for a period, for a given period, without any disturbance or without. We can also, for example, we can eliminate competition in that specific line of product. For example, if I'm doing yogurt, we eliminate competition. That is to say, from the outside people. Yeah, that one I think can be able to help grow entrepreneurship in the university.
Yes, thank you very much for the questions. Let me start with, I'm sure it was not a question actually, probably it's a comment, which I really appreciate. I recently started this business when I was based in Uganda, and definitely, since I'm home now, I'm based home now, I will definitely try to plant some shea butter, shea tree, and see if they will grow. Because according to the research, shea tree is mostly only in East Africa and is it West Africa? I'm not so sure now why we don't have it in Namibia, but I'll definitely dig more on that. And maybe if we succeed and it grows, and however, it also takes time. And I don't think I would want to give up on my business just because we don't have shea butter in Namibia. While I will be able, or since I have connection where I can source my raw material, and I've tried and it's working. So, but definitely I'll look into that. To answer the question from Mr. Nanok, what we can tell our fellow colleague, to be honest with you, we all have ideas. However, we sometimes shy away because we would want to make quick money, but it doesn't work in business. So it takes determination. It takes determination. So what you need to do first, you have to do a market research. That's very important, and know what problem are you solving. And make sure that you do something that you love. Don't just do something because copying someone just because you've seen that Halvey is making money from shea butter, and then you said, okay, let me also join this. And then what is the other question is the message to the vice chancellor. All I would say is that give opportunity to all young people, and definitely you will see the impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Good evening, everyone, once again. A question from Mr. Nanok, message to the colleagues. Like my other people here have mentioned, most of them, determination, market research, passion. I would also encourage most of you to do a bit of networking. It helps. The people in here, unfortunately, I've forgotten her name, the lady that was recognized by Professor Dipala. Everywhere I go, I always pin someone that I should talk to. I need to learn to interact with some kind of people. They will help you a lot in business. Failed stories. I may say each and every business is hard. There's no business person who is going to tell you that, it is just flowing. No. It has hills and valleys, but it needs consistency and determination. You don't need to give up about it. What will I code my stories like success to? Definitely my mentors, RUFORUM, Gulu University, and TAGDEF for mentoring me. I think basically that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think my colleagues have elaborated on all the questions. So mine is very simple to just add on. Yeah, what message would you give to your colleagues who are on the same journey? I think that 4 things are important. But before I mention the 4 things, one is that there's no clear roadmap for success. It's not there. So you have to try a bit of things and see what works. But I think these 4 things can help. And the first thing might surprise you. I think you really need a bit of luck for you to succeed. Actually, not a bit. You need luck to succeed. And you know the kind of luck you need, Ruforum and the MasterCard Foundation have done that bit of luck for you. They have democratized luck that irrespective of where you are, in the rural villages of Africa, you can have access to higher education, which now enables you to sit in places where you can impact lives of others. I believe that is important. The other side of luck that you need is now for you as an individual. Identify something you are passionate about and then work hard at it. When you do that, let luck will walk to you, shake your hand, look you in the face, and maybe kiss you. So that I think is very important. The second one is faith. I learned some definition of faith, which I know for sure that every great leader has. I know that when Professor Dipala and the first vice chancellors that started Ruforum start Ruforum, they had this faith. Vusi Tembakwayo defined it as the ability to believe the impossible, see the invisible, and trust in the unknown. So for you to start and work at something, you need that faith. You need that faith to give you the tenacity to work and move forward. The last two are very important at a personal level. When you get into some spaces, be patient, be trustworthy. These are rare commodities in our societies today. If you have those, you will always be identified and you'll move forward. I want to now try to attempt the other question about the message to the VCs. What should be done? The colleagues have already shared. My addition is that the curriculums in our universities are designed to deliver courses that people complete and they go, they enter the world, they start life. But if there was a way, and probably this might also be important for the TAGDEV 2.0 that is being worked on. I think being interested in the transitioning of graduates is very important. Other than stopping at delivering the training, transition, how do people move? Where do they go? My example here is, again, if I wasn't placed under TAGDEV at ICRISAT, I wouldn't have gained the research skills I gained. The writing skills I wouldn't have. And probably I wouldn't have got the opportunity to work at ICRISAT, which has now translated into the other opportunities that I now have. So in a programmatic approach that we can pick here is in the program design a particular package for transitioning participants of this. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Duncan Hongeng. I work at Gulu University, and my vice chancellor is here. By title, I'm a professor of food science and nutrition in the same institution. But in terms of management, I am the coordinator of the TAGDEV program at Gulu University. I would like to give a bit of some historical perspective leading to what we see here today. Now, my inspiration for this kind of transformational image started way back in 2005 when Gulu University was just established in northern Uganda, a region that had experienced armed conflict for 20 years. You can imagine the kind of life the communities in the region were facing. Because of that, we were asked to establish agricultural training in Gulu University. But in a region that had been ravaged by war, the infrastructure was nearly zero. But we had to start providing training services in agriculture. Now, from anybody's experience here is that an agricultural university must have a university farm to be able to train agricultural students. However, establishing a functional university farm is very expensive. And in a region emerging from war, that was a very expensive venture. But we had to start. Therefore, that calls for thinking outside the box. How can you deliver agricultural training to students without a university farm? We say, now, let's do an evaluation of the functionality of the university farm model on the graduates that are outside in the field. What came out very clearly was that, first of all, in many African universities, the university farms are modeled on the high-level agricultural farms that you see in Europe, the US, and in Asian countries. However, in Africa, which is dominated by smallholder farmers, such farms are not there. When a student is trained at a university farm, it's effective to acquire the skills and the knowledge and to become an extension agent or to become a farmer yourself. But upon graduation, what you see is that the student has nothing to transfer to the farmers. The student, sorry, the graduate cannot practice because what he learned from the university farm is not existed in the rural areas. There we say now, we are going to experiment by training the students directly in the community. And because of that, we came up with what we call the student-centered outreach model. I believe many of you have read this model. It's available in the African Journal of Rural Development. In this model, it provides a number of functions. One, education these days is very expensive. Only students of the well-to-do can access higher education. And these children don't live in rural areas, but they live in towns or in cities. But in some way or the other, they find themselves doing agricultural programs in universities. Upon graduation, you expect them to go and provide extension services. So get shocked now. The students begin to learn and appreciate the challenges of agriculture in a rural setting. And they should know what they expect when they graduate after a university. That's one. Then two, whereas the university is very important in delivering knowledge and skills, there is indigenous knowledge resident in the community that the professor cannot provide. So using this model, the student is able to acquire that indigenous knowledge, combining it with the technical knowledge from the university, and forms a better hybrid of what can happen. It was a challenge for us to move this model in that kind of setup. But our luck came, as Mr. Mugonya mentioned, in that after about 8 years of implementation, the government of Uganda advertised for agricultural inspectors. There are so many agricultural universities in Uganda. There were 6 positions. Out of those 6 positions, 5 were taken up by Gulu University graduates. On that basis, the permanent secretary called the vice chancellor by then. Mr. Vice Chancellor, what is happening in Gulu? So, in African countries, if the PS calls you, it means there's something wrong. The vice chancellor quick a little bit, but gained his strength. I said, no, we are okay. Say, why? What's the issue, Mr. PS? No. There's something in Gulu. Your graduates are exceptionally good. What are you doing with them? The vice chancellor called me and I told him it is the community engagement model which is delivering that. Two, another inspiration is that in seeing the kind of situation we were exposed to in the community, we realized that looking for jobs after graduation was a real challenge. And yet, in the rural areas, there are challenges that can be translated into opportunities for investment. Therefore, to deliver our agricultural training, we had now to come up with agricultural innovation model. Most people say the youth don't like agriculture. But for us in Gulu University, we say the youth love agriculture, except that they have not been told the truth. What is the truth? The truth lies in the arithmetics. What are they going to get? It's not just about going to do farming, not just about going to sell, but what is the arithmetic? That is what the agribusiness innovation model delivers. And you can already see the testimonies from these graduates here, how the innovation model has been able to model them to become the leaders for the future. That said, I am actually happy to say here that which we implemented here largely came from this humble start, but progressively move to a high level of African development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Nancy Moi, a professor of social science at Egerton University and the coordinator of the TAGDEF program at Egerton University. I'm greatly honored to make a few remarks this evening. And because I know I'm standing between you and supper, I'll be very brief. I'll make very few remarks and just say that the journey for TAGDEF started many years back. And it started with a program called the Farm Attachment Program. And this Farm Attachment Program actually was a brainchild of one of the former vice chancellors at Egerton University, who happened to have a chat with Professor Adipala about engaging undergraduate students in extension. And that talk led to the funding of the program. We received some seed money and implemented the farm attachment program at Egerton University from, I think, 2014 or 2015 and 2016 for 2 years. It was a 2-year program. And in this farm attachment program, basically, we were coordinating students, mostly undergraduate students, to be attached with farmers for a period of about eight weeks. And during these 8 weeks, they would do an appraisal of the farm situation, and they would work together with the farmers to come up with a solution. And they would begin to implement the solution. And then that cohort of students would leave the farm. And in the following year, we would send another cohort of students to the same farms, and they would follow up on what the earlier group started. And they would follow up on the implementation, find out how much the farmer has implemented the solution that they had already discussed with the students. And this would happen for 3 years. So the idea was that this engagement had to be sustained at least for 3 consecutive years. So that's how the farm attachment program was conceived, and that's the way it was implemented. And with the successes we got from the farm attachment program, the discussions of TAGDEF program came up, and Egerton University became an implementing institution. And we built on this farm attachment program, but there was a program that was happening at Egerton University, and that is a student enterprise program. Some of the students who came here described it and described how it has been implemented at Egerton University. So these two programs, the farm attachment program and the student enterprise program, have become the key pillars of the TAGDEF program at Egerton University. And we have seen a lot of success. These two programs, we have seen the students who have participated, especially in the enterprise program, being extremely creative and innovative. I know Gabriel here has been one of our key students in Comrade Dairy and a few others at Egerton University who've been able to take the challenge to develop the enterprises and to go ahead and impact the community around the Egerton University area. What would I like to say? I would like to say that we truly appreciate the model that we have currently implemented in TAGDEF. And we truly appreciate the funding through by MasterCard, through RUFORUM, and impact that we see. And my desire, like I did mention maybe in the clip that was shown, is to see more students impacted. As we traveled this way for this conference, it was really amazing just to continue engaging with our students and to hear the stories that they continue to share about the impact that they are making and the difference that this program is making in their lives. And so we look forward to being able to impact more people, to impact the communities, and to continue producing the change agents that we want to see. I know that our students have what it takes. We must believe in them. We must continue to support them. We must continue to encourage them along the journey, to tell them that indeed, yes, you can. We must continue to do that. And we must continue to partner. This program also benefits a lot from the partnership with Earth University. When we started off Egerton leaders visited Earth University and got to experience for themselves firsthand how the program at Earth University was being implemented. And think with that experience, then they back, it was much, much easier to implement the program at Egerton University. So we must continue also to partner and to co-learn and to learn from one another, so that we can implement the programs expeditiously. We can implement the program without having to learn all the way from the beginning, because we will have learned from others and we can continue to it. So I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to serve in this program, and I look forward to implementing TAGDEF 2 with even greater impact for the future. Thank you, and God bless you all.
past 30 years, there has been a major shift in agricultural markets and the international trade of agricultural products. The world is moving from local and national towards a global system,
which means that neighboring farmers working on small plots of land may be competing with large industrial farmers from another country in a single marketplace. In developing countries, small-scale farmers need to commercialize their operations in order to compete.
I'm Andries Strauss. I'm a small stock scientist. The village we are going now is the Ipopem communal farmers. A lot of valuable research is done in South Africa, but most of this research is staying in the library. Through the Reforum project, not only doing research, but we are actually implementing it also.
The South African wool industry is in a privileged position and has ample opportunity for growth. This is fertile ground for the University of the Free State Centre for Sustainable Agriculture, Rural Development and Extension, and their Reforum supported project on building competitiveness for communal farmers through developing the wool value chain in the Free State province of South Africa. 3 MSc and 2 PhD students are engaged in research, strengthening various aspects of the wool value chain.
It creates an opportunity for the community members as well, because we teach them about wool and also show them they can make an income for themselves as well.
From our background, it kind of had that stereotype that, you know, farming is for our fathers. But now, I think it's gradually taking another form.
Being a female farmer is not easy. The people will believe that you know nothing. I'm very proud of it.
There are very innovative research that's going on wool processing, on the washing of the wool, etc. And then we also are looking into marketing aspects, and everything that we are researching on this project can be applied and can be expanded further into the future.
The project has engaged TVET students from Glen Agricultural College, who are working closely with communal wool growers, commercial farmers, and private industry. These interns are being mentored with the aim of becoming experts in the wool value chain.
The training that I got from the Wool Reforum project is that I'm extending it to the small-scale farmers. I'm mentoring a lot of projects. I'm helping most farmers who are farming with wool.
My hope for the Reforum project is that everyone in the whole world is wearing wool clothing. I have wool underwear, must I show you? No, I'm just kidding. This is the revamped sharing sheet made possible through the Reforum project.
The university farm facilities have been upgraded and are fast becoming a centralized infrastructure hub to support wool production, processing, and value addition.
Some of the rewarding parts is to the whole value chain, from where the lambs are born, bringing them up to shearing the sheep, processing the wool into products.
So most farmers, they know how to produce wool. We have most farmers who know how to classing and all that, but value adding is still one of the most scarce skills in South Africa, specifically agro-processing.
The project has helped us with employment, like take a look at me, for example, it's changed my life. I can now put food on the table at the end of the month.
In spite of COVID-19 challenges, the project has forged ahead and has already trained over 100 communal wool growers, sheep shearers, and men and women from the community, building capacity through knowledge and skills training.
It provided this opportunity to study and explore on all the things that we can do with wool.
The Reforum project provided me the opportunity to live my wool passion.
My father is the one who taught me about farming. I'm feeling like they can wake up and see what I'm doing. I'm feeling like they can wake up and eat my money. I will be a commercial farmer.
My greatest goal is for our youth to be more equipped, especially females. She says the more the merrier. I'm hoping for more and more young female farmers.
usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe Mwari anewe kaneria Mwari anewe kufirwa nemurume handati zvinona moyo wekushinga usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe Mwari anewe kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe Mwari anewe kaneria Mwari anewe upenyu imindupindu ngwarira mhepo dzezviedzo usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe Mwari anewe kaneria Mwari anewe vanhukadzi vanobatwa senhapwa kugara senderera usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe shinga moyo shinga Mwari anewe harufu rune shanje kutsaura vanodandana usaore moyo hanzvadzi Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe shingaira kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe usaore moyo kaneria Mwari anewe shingaira kaneria Mwari anewe